Hey guys, it's me, Sujoy. I'm back with another video. So, on this video, I'm going to be talking about will Vietnam become the next leading semiconductor manufacturer in the world by 2024? I'm going to be reading out this article from Vietnam News, which is my go to guide when it comes to keeping myself updated with the latest, updated news here in Vietnam, whether it's visa, travel related, or even information technology. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, I was a bit, I had a bit of, stomach upset for the past few days, so I was not keeping well. Yeah, so by the way, I'm actually reading this book. I highly recommend. It's called as Better Time Management. It's by Jacqueline Atkinson. So I just started reading this book. So yeah, it's definitely helping me a lot to to multitask and to better make myself productive. When it comes to running my online digital marketing business, and also when I'm doing full time YouTubing. So, got a little bit of scratchy nose. Yeah. Okay. So for those of you, if you don't know me, my name is Sujoy. The name of my channel is called as Sujoy in Vietnam. I've been living here for 5 years, and I was an English teacher for 3.5 years, and then I started my digital marketing online business. And right now, I do full time YouTube, and also I also do a bit of part time English teaching. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Right. So I came across this interesting article from Vietnam News. I just want to read it out, and I also want to then float a couple of my thoughts about this as to why I think Vietnam would become the leading global semiconductor manufacturer by 2024. So I'm going to be putting my thoughts about that. So I'm going to be reading it out from this article. So the article titled is Vietnam Aims High on Semiconductors. So let's go through this. So the launch of the Vietnam Semiconductor Innovation Network was big, but just the starting point of the country's ambition to start. Wait a minute, guys. Let me just try to adjust it over here so I can keep my laptop out here better. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. So the launch of the Vietnam Semiconductor Innovation Network was big, but just the starting point of the country's ambition to stay at the forefront of the global chip semiconductor chain. So Vietnam will train 50,000 engineers between now and 2030 to embed itself further into the global chip supply chain. So the launch of so there's a specific program which is called as NIC Training Center here in Ho Chi Minh. Sorry, in Hoa Lac High Tech Park. Okay, so the launch of the NIC Training Center in Hoa Lac High Tech Park last week speaks volumes about the country's efforts to create an enabling environment for chip producers. So the 41 million facility, $41 million, okay, US dollar facility comprises two office blocks and a conference hall covering around 20,000 square meter of campus. So the Vietnam International Innovation Exhibition 2023, which is also called as the VIIE 2023, was another event in the mix where NIC signed deals with heavyweights like Google, Samsung, and Intel on innovation, talent pool, and research in the sector. So VIIE 2023 also saw the entry into operations of the Samsung Innovation Campus and a chip design incubation center initiated by Synopsys and NIIC. So already, if you see the global market right now, if you look at the company Apple, of course, India has got the biggest contract for supplying, for manufacturing Apple phones globally now, which is ranked number one. But Vietnam has also, got the agreement with Apple to also become one of the top leading, I think the second top leading global Apple manufacturers. So next time, I wouldn't be surprised that by next year, if you're using your Apple phone, so it could be either assembled by two countries, so it could be Vietnam or it could be India. So, like I said, a lot of outsourcing is happening. There's a lot of global inflation. So, big tech giants like Google, Apple, Intel, they're eyeing on these fast moving economies, specifically Vietnam, to start doing the global manufacturing process for these equipments, high tech equipments. Okay. So, according to a source, Vietnam is currently seen as a potential global chip producer, much like Taiwan in the past, which managed to build its world class semiconductor sector from scratch. So, I'm going to be talking a bit about Taiwan and why I think that Taiwan may lose the race when it comes to global semiconductor manufacturing by 2024. So, just hang in tight. So, Bloomberg data shows that Vietnam's chip exports to the US increased from 312 point 0.7 million US dollars in February 2022 to 562.5 million US dollars in February 2023, accounting for 11.6% of the US chip imports, next to Malaysia, which actually ranks 20%, and Taiwan 15.1%. So as you can see that Vietnam has a very favorable environment for foreign investors and has been the reason for tech giants locating their factors in the country. Now, why I talk about Vietnam being a favorable environment is because firstly, Vietnam has a very large population of young workforce. Okay, Vietnam does not have an aging population. So the majority of the population in Vietnam, they're comprising of young people. I believe they are below 30, and it's got a very strong workforce. Secondly, I feel is that Vietnam does not have any conflicting countries. Like unlike other countries, like if you look at Taiwan, where they have a conflicting they may have an ongoing war, they may have a war with China. So Vietnam is very neutral, even it's a very peace loving country, and of course the tourism sector in Vietnam is booming a lot in 2023. So it's definitely a favorable market for foreign global investors who want to invest out here in Vietnam. Vietnam's got the right tools, resources, digital technologies. So yeah, let me just carry on to some juicy parts. So market research conducted by Custom Market Insights in August shows that the global semiconductor chip market is expected to record 7.1% from 2023 to 2032. So the market size reached a valuation of 580.1 billion US dollars. The figure is anticipated to rise 634.5 billion US dollars in 2023 and 1.1 trillion dollars in 2032. So I believe this would be actually the global chip market. So meanwhile, global semiconductor assembly and testing services market is forecast to reach 5.3%. All right, so I think it's better, I'm going to leave a link of this article down in the description below for you to read. It's a bit technical, I don't like to go too much into technical when I'm actually reading out the article. So, a couple of my final thoughts why I feel Vietnam would become the leading global semiconductor manufacturer by 2024, if not 2024, but I can see even by 2025 it's happening. Firstly, if we look at the top countries right now for 2023, you have Taiwan, Japan, United States. Let's talk about Taiwan. Taiwan comprises 50% of the global semiconductor market. But the problem is, I have a strong feeling that maybe by the next year, Taiwan may have, by next year, there may be a war breaking out between Taiwan and China, because China is primarily eyeing on Taiwan for its semiconductor technology, because the quality of the semiconductor chips manufactured by Taiwan is of high quality. And I think Vietnam um, can definitely definitely has the resources and the capacity to produce high quality semiconductor chips. A quick one, if you don't know what are semiconductor chips, these are specific chips which are used for making smartphones. If you're using your laptops or your iPhones and all those things. So, yeah, semiconductor is a very, very important thing. It's like the main engine, a main chip when you are, if you're going to watch digital television or you're using your laptop, phones, and for various other applications. Okay, let's look at Japan. Okay, so the problem with Japan right now is that Japan has an aging workforce and the population of Japan is decreasing drastically. Okay, so it's definitely not a very favorable country in the long run because of its aging population, and so yeah, let's talk about United States. There could be a possibility of war breaking out between United States and China by next year. So this could impact the economy. Chances are the U.S. economy would be hit big time. U.S. would go through a long period of economic recession. So yeah, so it's not also looking very good for US. So the countries which are very favorable for 2024 and beyond would be for Vietnam and India. Of course, I come from India. So yeah, so Vietnam has got a very favorable environment, and not only that, Vietnam has would also become the leading manufacturer for companies like Intel, Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and Qualcomm. Okay, so yeah, so I think Vietnam should start heavily investing for producing and for becoming a global supply chain for semiconductors globally. So I think this should be one of the highest priorities, from the Vietnamese government for the semiconductor manufacturing. And also, I would like to suggest that Win Group, which is a very big company, they're into VinFast cars. So I think Win Group can heavily invest into this semiconductor, business model. And also, I think VNG Corporation, but I think they're into IT. But yeah, Win Group can definitely look into this. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys like watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. If you are traveling around in Southeast Asia and you want to start a successful online business or you want to earn passive income, make sure to check the link down in the description below. It's an exclusive webinar invite for you to join, exclusive webinar masterclass workshop for you to join for free. Additionally, you can support me on PayPal if you like my content or if you like to sponsor me a trip to Thailand. So that would be great. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. This was me, Joy. Peace out.